Hey dude, how we doing today? So week one and done with Academy Pittsburgh of a 12-week programming intensive. And yeah, this week I have been taking some B-roll snippets, just briefly vlogging about day-to-day experiences. I may update that day-to-day and instead of doing one a week, I may do daily updates and really reflect in real time how I'm feeling and tracking that emotionally, cognitively, where I'm at. But to say about week one, this video is also intended to kind of pair with my long overdue review of The Mind for Numbers by Barbara Oakley, which is an awesome book. And actually, a lot of the study and test taking strategies within this book are core principles within the boot camp. I don't know if any of the teachers or the TAs have read that book, uh, this book, but they are talking, maybe it's just life experience too, but they are talking specifically to people that need to read this book or have read this book and just practicing those strategies over time. One of the TAs specifically has been to like, you just walk away, like just walk away from the code. It's fine. It'll still be there. And when you come back, you'll have a well rested brain that can actually comprehend your deliberate practice that you're slugging away at. It's totally cool. So some of the struggles I've had with trying to pick up logical functions, specifically loops within programming, initially we're working in C sharp, has been like if, else, else if, while, for, and what really helped over time eventually break through for me is imagine scope. Imagine scope of what your code layout looks like. Um, and try not to too rigidly and narrowly define your scope, but be aware of how you have framed your box, so to speak, of what you're operating within. Um, and it took a long time for me to be comfortable with the ideas of I'm learning a new language. I'm learning how to. The way I interpret it is you're learning a language. There are rules and structure to how to speak and operate in a language. However, there's also creative play and imagination within that language, within that framework, to kind of develop your own way of saying something. I mean, it feels like slang in a certain sense. Here's an example. When you declare a variable, say you have a property like a string or an int, two different things, like string is for words, int for numbers. And then there are different conversion types and actions you can do from those properties. But you can also tag and associate attributes that are known as variables to those properties, and those variables can be called whatever you want them to be. This was really hard for me to wrap my mind around because I am so used to just being told, no, you do it like this and you do it like that. And that's it. There's no other way to do it. Okay, cool. So I'm coming at it just like pounding my head, watching the screen and watching the teacher and other classmates like inject these variable names that are not auto-suggested within the program that I'm using, but they just know how to make up words that somehow the program recognizes, even though they're not recognized in the program by default auto-suggestion. So that disconnect was really, really difficult for me. So the best way I can explain it visually is like, I'm coming at it from a very rigid structure. Look at it, just very symmetrical. There's a hierarchy to why things are laid out the way they are, and it has to match the whole way around. That's what I was looking at. However, in this teaching, I'm getting, nah, you can just kind of, do whatever you want. Make it however you want. Make it look whatever you want. Like, nah, there you go. There's your variable. Yeah, whatever you want. What do you mean I can just make it whatever I want? I had no idea how to wrap my mind around that. And then within that is there's this thing called scope, and you have to make sure your functions loop and function properly in the order you're telling them to. So I have my loop and I want it to perform a certain way, but I forgot I put it inside of this. And I'm telling that function to change the outside of this to what I want it to look like or what I want it to behave as. That's not able to happen because it's inside here. And that's what I told it to do. But then I'm like, well, why isn't it doing it? Well, you left it inside this thing. Yeah, I'm telling it to change this thing. I understand that's what you're saying, but that's not how you told it has to behave. Well, now I'm confused, but now I get it. So that has been my first week so far in the academy, and I'm looking forward to week 2. Honestly, kind of had some moments of regret and thinking like, is this worth it? I don't know, but I'm here now and I got to do it. And that's week 1, and I hope week 2 goes as well. Now we'll see you in the next video. Peace out.